Hey y'all, so I'm gonna be honest, I'm tired as Jack. So I might be a little more low energy than usual, but I wanted to go ahead and get the message out before the day is over. Again, like I was saying in my post, if you're not subscribed to my channel and have your post notifications on, make sure you definitely do that. And so today I made a post. I made two posts actually. One this morning. Good morning, gorgeous lovelies. I got some channeled songs. You by Miley Cyrus, Bliss by Tyler, and Burning Blue by Mariah the Scientist was the third one, but the second post. All these songs I've posted today are very significant. I will be expanding on these energies in a reading today after I finish chores. So here I am. When I woke up this morning, the first thing that I was hearing was, got my stuff over there. The first thing that I was hearing was You by Miley Cyrus. And it was, I wanna drive down to Texas, flip off my exes, get kinda reckless, and have wild, wild, wild sex under the moon. But only if it's with you. It sounded like a sweet download, okay? And then I also started hearing, if I said it sounded like a sweet download, we came to realize it is not, okay? then I started hearing Tyler's song Bliss. That take me as I am. Oh, okay, well that's how I always say it. That's what I think the lyrics are, but that's not what the lyrics are. It's take me, take me. I don't know what she say. I don't know what she say. I always think it's take me as I am, but she say take me something. Never had, never had, never had. Let me look up the lyric real quick. I don't want to be in a world without you. Baby, I don't want to let you out my sight. I don't want to ever break away from you, or the light might go away. Take me out my mind. That's what she say. Take me out my mind. Oh, oh, take me out my mind. Oh, oh. You take me to bliss. Never found love like this. It's a good song. You know what I'm saying? All these is good songs. And I'm not saying it's always a bad energy. Like, and every time you listen to the song, you should know it's a bad energy. I'm just saying, like, this is how I picked up the energy in these songs. So, like, even, like, another disclaimer, like, Mariah the Scientist, she says, you know, Burning Blue is not a heartbreak song. That's how I took it with the lyrics that I got. Well, not necessarily heartbreak, but not so good either. But, so, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just the downloads, okay? So that's a disclaimer. You by Miley Cyrus. Okay, so it kind of, I asked God for clarifying songs. So You by Miley Cyrus was clarified by Mahalia's Grateful. And that was a specific synchronicity and download for me, because after the story that I told y'all yesterday about my prelude guy, when I first met him, he would always be having that song playing. And that's one of the reasons that I started liking him. I thought he was like a soft guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had like a heart or whatever, but you know, people like love music, but they still don't be loving. They still be out here breaking hearts. So so I was like, dang, that was like a dang. But it's still kind of under that guise, right? Then I asked for a clarifying song for Bliss. Well, I just got, like, I was just giving them to me. And then, well, I asked for this. I just gave me the clarifying song for You, but I asked for a clarifying song for Bliss. And then I got All the Love by Iris Starr. And one of the lyrics is, in that song that I was noticing is, all the love, them they fake on, something, something, all the love. She's just saying they be faking, like, you're deserving of the love that you're not getting. All the love, they faking. You deserve more than that. You deserve more than that. Like, let me, it's a really good song. Like, you definitely need to listen to all of these songs, like, if you feel like you want to. I don't need nothing from you. Your beautiful artist a muse. All the love, all the care, them they fake, don't be hard. Normally, I go love you. All the love, all the care, them they fake, don't be hard, baby, give in. I go love you. So I feel like this also, like, God and your real future spouse trying to come in and let you know, like, these people faking, okay? They faking. I'm gonna give you that real love that you really want. You gotta realize that this is fake first so that I could come in. Okay, you gotta clock it. Don't just pull away from somebody now, because I told you, you gotta know why you're pulling away from somebody, okay? Because that's a big part of the ordeal as well. And how do you know, right? How can you tell the difference between the real and the fake? Like, for example, with my prelude, my precursor person that I was telling you about, and even the latter guy, and if you haven't watched part 1, a lot of this stuff is probably not going to make sense, so I'm going to leak part 1 of this, and it's the 717 video. And today is the 19th, so this one gonna be 719 synchronicity, and 709, it might be 709. I might put 709 synchronicity instead of 719. We'll see. But the 717 part 2. And yeah, but maybe you can just catch up. So I used to date this guy, right? And he was a prelude, and I got all these feelings that, you know, maybe this is good, you know what I'm saying? It was seeming good, like, seemingly, but well, not this. I got, for this guy, when I was dating this guy, I got all these signs to not talk to him, okay? Don't talk to him. Don't do this. Don't engage with him. But his energy, when I was around him, for the most part, initially, it felt so good. And I was like, I'm tripping. Like, I'm trying to run away from love type vibe. Nah, it ain't gonna happen. You're not gonna get me. Whole time, I was running away from the devil. I should have been running away from the devil. I was running towards the devil in disguise. How will you know, like, the difference between the real and the fake when the fake is such a good fake? You'll know the difference between the real and the fake because the fake is going, from my experience, the fake is going to propel you towards the past, okay? They gonna have you questioning the things that you had initially made pure discernment on in the past, and have you bringing that stuff back up, feeling unsettled in that energy when you had already closed that chapter, okay? And the only reason that it's gonna do that is because that's what the energy was to begin with, like in my situation. So the energy to begin with was me questioning myself, hearing absolute clarity, and then refusing to listen to it. So if I'm inviting that energy of uncertainty and disbelief, and then I'm going to bring that back on in naturally. You feel what I'm saying? But also, he physically, like, literally through his words, he confirmed, like, he would, like, I could give you an example. I separated from my family. I closed that chapter. At this point, I hadn't spoken to my family in over a year. And I wasn't planning on speaking to them again. I was like, I'm cutting them off. I'm done. I'm good. I done seen all I needed to see. Well, I didn't see all I needed to see. Like, I didn't have, like, hard physical proof beyond just my feelings. You feel what I'm saying? And a little side note, maybe you want to get to the point where you don't need such hard physical proof all the time, because sometimes that puts us in situations where we don't want to really be in. And I'm going to touch back on that a little bit later, because sometimes we need that. You feel what I'm saying? And we don't have to judge ourselves for things that we genuinely need. So it was still a lot of gaslighting. Okay, and something that I didn't tell y'all yesterday, that's why yesterday I was like, it felt like when I first saw him that I got that energy of I shouldn't talk to him. It would be a waste because he's not ready to commit at this time. And when I first seen him, when I first pulled up in the Uber, when I seen him for the first time ever, my prelude. And I keep saying prelude because he's the prelude to an even worse karmic, okay? But my prelude, when I pulled up, I remember yesterday when I pulled up in the Uber, just having my groceries, I said, what is he doing here? He's not supposed to be here. That's crazy, right? You're not supposed to be here right now. That's what I said. Like, you're not, I didn't say you're not supposed to be here right now. I said, what is he doing here? He's not supposed to be here. Like, something in my mind was like, isn't this chapter closed? What is this? What, you ain't supposed to be here, Nick. This chapter's supposed to be closed. But it wasn't, okay? So, I had cut my family off. And at this time, I had cut my family off. I didn't have no plans on going back to them or nothing like that. But then when I would tell him, when I would try and open up and tell him about my situation with my family, because he would also tell me about his situation with his family. And I would just tell him, sometimes you just got to have boundaries with your family. Like, if you cut them off or something like that, like, I had to cut my family off, and then he'll be trying to tell me, you should go back to him. You shouldn't cut your family off. You should talk to them again. Like, constantly planting them seeds in my head, and it's like, and he'd be like, that's your family, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, he dealt with, like, really toxic family members, and he, like, still, like, took care of them, and, like, all types of stuff, and it's like, they didn't support his dreams or nothing like that, and it's like, you constantly letting these people feed on your energy, like, that's why you throw it off. That's why you can't manifest nothing. That's why you ain't really getting nowhere, because you got people around you who don't even believe in you. That's crazy. Now, I'm not saying his family is toxic, because I did meet his family, and they, like, nice people, you feel what I'm saying? Different strokes for different folks, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nice people, but they just didn't believe in him. And so he should have enacted a certain level of boundaries, like not allowing other people to tell him what to do and stuff like that. And instead of, elevating him, I shrunk down to his level. And I think that's what we do a lot. We don't allow ourselves to just elevate and leave people where they at, or allow them to come with us. We shrink down to them. Almost like, I'm trying to meet you where you at. I'm trying to understand you. And in some ways, I did find it admirable how loving and kind and compassionate he was to his family. Like, there's some family members who did, like, not all his family is, like, nice in that way, but, like, they just got their little quirks. Like, some of his family is, like, literally, like, very toxic, like, from the things that they've done. And he still supported and cared about them. And I thought it was admirable, like, to be that loving and kind, but it's not. Like, I mean, it is, like, it's cool, but, like, that's not who I'm looking to be. Like, I'm looking to be the type of person who says, you made your bed, now lie in it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, different paths for different people. Like, don't call me a bad person, because I ain't trying to do that. You feel what I'm saying? But different strokes for different folks. You know what I'm saying? That's just not my vibe. That's not what I'm into. But that's an energy that starts to open up for me. Like, I started to be back into, like, questioning myself, like, and he kept saying, I would tell him all the things that they did to me, and he would still be, like, telling me, like, yeah, but that's your family or whatever. And it's like just that seed of doubt, like that he was not even a seed of doubt, but I still had a seed of doubt within my own mind. And instead of going into environments that gave me more clarity, I went into an environment that helped continuously water that seed. And so it started to grow. And I ended up getting heavily involved with my family. And this is what I say, like that whole year, like after I like committed to this recommitted to this karmic cycle, to this trauma cycle, to this all this bogusness, like after I recommitted to it, like I experienced everything that I had let go of. It like all just rushed and came back, not just in relationships, like friendships, family, relationships, like all types of stuff like that. My thing moving around in my life, all types of stuff like that. I experienced everything that I had said I let go of. Like God gave it right back to me. Like, here you go. You said you want this. Ain't no thing. Look. Y'all know that meme when that guy, he be like, I got $20, and he be having his hat on and his shades on. He be like, this is what God did to me. He was like, ain't no thing, girl. I give you what you're looking for. That's what you want. And yes, I was able to get like so much more clarity. Like I got rock hard, solid proof that my family was not shit. Like, and they can't nobody in this world like after that. And so can't nobody in this world ever be able to tell me like, oh, maybe you tripping. There's no more seeds. Like I done, girl, like stomped on them and they dried out in the sun. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, ain't no more seeds of doubt inside my head. Like I know for a fact, like, yeah, they everything that I thought they was. I should have known that, honestly. But yeah, and then after like I let that stuff go, like even down to this day, like so many more memories that like was in my childhood that I never really just sat on and thought about, like come up, and it's like a continuous validation of like, girl, you was not tripping, like, and this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. Wasn't that crazy that this happened, and then this happened, and this happened? Like, if you see my Acknowledging Mother Wounds video, like, even since that video, I have had so many, and I just recently posted that video on this channel, but, I made that video so long ago. Like, I made that video months and months ago. So even then, like, even since then, like, I still have memories that just come up, like, I didn't need to go through that lesson or experience none of that in order to get to this point. But because I refused to tap into that energy that I had already had, God put it back in my face. Like, and sometimes I say, like, well, we ain't gonna get into it. Well, let me just say real quick. Sometimes that's why I be saying, like, I really don't wish my enemies to not get away from karma. I mean, I really don't wish that my enemies don't get karma. I wish that my enemies get karma, but not on no, like, negative stuff, but, like, if you backload, if you push that energy too far away, sometimes, like, oh, I'm gonna deal with that tomorrow, and then the karma come all at once 5 years later. Sometimes, like, so much time has passed, your memory is not as fresh as it was, especially if you be on drugs and stuff like that, like, or just repressing stuff, and more trauma done happened since then. It'd be hard to remember what happened. You know, sometimes when you get the karma off top, you can deal with the lesson off top. Like, I think that's so much more healthier than having to wait. Like, if you have to wait, I feel like it's gonna be so hard. And so, like, I just be wishing that I deal with stuff right in the moment, not wait, not push it back, not pretending it happened. And out of love, not out of no weird stuff, I hope that happens to anybody who need it, who get karma dealing with me, or just the world in general. Like, feel that right now. Like, don't wait, because I swear it get worse and it get harder to understand. You get so far from it. But yeah, so that's how you'll know the difference between, like, somebody who's good. Because even though I haven't, well, I kind of had that experience, like, with a friend, when you know you're dealing with somebody who's an appropriate companion, a high vibrational companion, and not a trick, okay? Not the good kind, where they tricking and giving you that cash. I mean the bad kind, an illusion, tricking and playing in your ass. No, let me stop. All the way Diddy, for real. But like, these are the type of people who validate your experience when it's good, when it's real. I haven't had this with a well, yeah, not totally. I haven't totally had this with a relationship yet, but these type of people, like through a friendship I had it, these type of people who validate your experience and they tell you, you didn't deserve that. That's crazy. I don't understand why somebody would do that to you. You saw this, you saw that. Yes, that makes like, yes, that is weird. Yes, that is crazy. Or yeah, I ain't seen nothing like that. Like when I remember like my whole life, I was just like mostly surrounded by my family. I never shared my trauma with nobody. And then I'll tell you about my like life story another day. And then I finally got away from my family, and then I remember telling this woman about what happened, and she was like, "Are you serious? Your mama did what? That's crazy." And I didn't even tell her nothing like, I thought I didn't tell her nothing super bad. She was like, "That's weird. Like, that's crazy. My mama would never do that to me." Like, and she was like, "A mother is supposed to be loving to you, kind to you." Like, and I was like, "Oh my God." Like, and she was acting like I just told her, like, my mama used to burn me with cigarettes or something. She was acting like I told her my mom used to burn me with cigarettes every night, 5 days a week, like 7 days a week. Like, I was like, dang, you think so? You know, some stuff we normalize. Like, you don't gotta go through like horrendous trauma all the time. Like, even though sometimes you might not think it's horrendous trauma in comparison to maybe some things that other people have in their story, but like all she did was like you know, beat me when she got mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, other at least she fed me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that's my story, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how we trick our mind into normalizing things. And that's, please, obviously that video could be very important, acknowledging mother wounds to heal the trauma, because if we don't acknowledge that we were hurt and that the things that went on were bad, a lot of the times we'll normalize them. And like I was saying in part 1 of this video, when you normalize that stuff, when things are just natural patterns, like, we're not our thoughts, but our thoughts can dictate our behaviors. And so sometimes we walk out and we behave in certain ways, traumas that we have spiritually healed from, because we haven't, through repetition, continuously triggering ourselves or continuously healing ourselves, not necessarily continuously triggering ourselves, but continuously learning new behavior traits and saying, yeah, that was not normal, defying things that are weird. Because we aren't continuously doing that, we might end up repeating it. You know what I'm saying? Just subconsciously. And so it's important to reprogram the mind behaviorally through actual action, okay? Because that's where the healing is going to come in, through actually playing it out. Like, because sometimes we know stuff, but we don't do it. Sometimes we feel stuff, we don't act on it. You know, we don't think that. And when I say feel, I'm connected more to like those intuitive understandings of feeling. Y'all like my new necklace that I just got? It's a part of the click now, so y'all gonna see this. The Star of David is, to me, as above, so below. And so it's my unification with God, and our connection and our intertwining, and a symbol of us working together. That's gonna bring me into my first download, and then I'm gonna get back into breaking these songs down in just a second. Just because that came up, I gotta just talk about it right now. Maybe some of y'all gonna tune out and y'all ain't gonna watch the whole video. I know I be talking, but I be having a lot to say. Maybe watch it in sessions. When God Mr. Miyagi's you, God didn't lie. She Mr. Miyagi'd you. Okay? So, and also I've been like trying to experiment with calling God different things, because like I was talking about in my last video, part 1 of this, I'm gonna keep bringing up part 1 because it's super relevant. In part 1 of this video, I was saying, you know, like or maybe that was another video. Yeah, I think that was actually another video. My values part 2, talking about how I never really totally resonated with I don't know how to explain it, like, but in that video, my values part 2, or my values the Reprise part 2, I talked about how, dang, I don't even know. Just forget it. Like, I don't even know. Just forget it. Because I'm supposed to be sitting up here looking crazy for the longest time. Because ain't no way I can remember that right now. But, I just want to expand my beliefs, okay? I want to expand my beliefs and be able to, experiment so that I'm not operating from the same old timeline. You feel? Just like what I was talking about before. Like, I expand my horizons and I'm trying to grow, but I'm still doing it in the same ways that I did before. So like I left the church and I became spiritual, and then I would spiritually dissect the Bible, like in ways that other people try to tell me that's not what's happening, that's not what it is. I would dissect it spiritually, and so I would come up with, or I would resonate with my own conclusions, not necessarily what other people traditionally interpret it as. But, however, I want to expand and do more. So I usually refer to God as a he, but I figure, you know, let me refer to God as a she. And then as well, I want to try and start experimenting with like different names. Like I know some people get triggered by the word God. Like, oh, it's no God, it's the universe, it's source, it's, you know, whatever. I want to experiment with those other words as well. You know, feel what finds most comfortable to me. God right now feels comfortable, but maybe God feels comfortable just because that's what I grew up calling God. So being a partner with God. So in part 1 of this video, I said, we are teachers and students. We are human beings for a reason. Now, I said we are teachers and students. So we are also spiritual beings for a reason. Sometimes we need to place less emphasis on how we feel and more emphasis on the direction Spirit is guiding us in. That's the yes and energy that I was talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be so set in stone on one. Don't be so set in stone on the other one. Integrate them. You know what I'm saying? And because I mostly place emphasis on, yesterday I mostly placed emphasis on we are teachers, because I believe that we have a symbiotic relationship with the divine. So the divine is learning from us just as much as we are learning from it. Our ancestors are learning from us just as much as we are learning from them. Okay? So when it's in alignment, that's the ultimate authenticity. We have both. So we have to use both because we are both. When it's in alignment, that's the ultimate authenticity. And authenticity, to me, is the highest vibration. You don't have to submit to the universe blindly to manifest or be high vibrational if that doesn't feel authentic to you or to your path. Doubt and fear are huge blockers connecting with spirit properly. How you gonna connect with God when you're in a situation you don't feel comfortable in? He wouldn't do that to you. Don't do it to yourself, okay? So like in my relationships, when I'm in a relationship with somebody who pulling me away from my highest timeline because I chose to be in that relationship, it pushes me further from God. That's another sign. You're going to feel yourself like shifting away from God. And I remember for that whole year, I was just feeling like I just don't feel connected to God. Like I feel like I'm losing God. I don't like this feeling. Being around people like that, like they take your focus off of God. Like when you with the right person, they gonna make you feel like intensely like yeah, like on God, like like you love them, and then your eyes just get fixated on God. Like I've been in relationships and friendships like that, where it's like, man, yeah, like I'm like focused on God right now. Like this got me wanting to be more within my spirit. That's the type of right people you're supposed to be around. Okay, so take it, use all that and collect it. Are you feeling like you're on the right path still, or do you feel like you're straying away? Like I remember I get in relationships with sometimes with people, and they be trying to tell me, questioning my beliefs. But when we first got together, they claimed so bad they had the same beliefs as me. That's because these people is filled with doubt, internal doubt, and they try and place that on you. And a lot of times they try and place it on you because they're trying to manipulate you and control you through your religion. If I can get you to question your religion, your God, that means I can get you to do anything. Your mind will be mine. I told y'all from my first video, that's my values part 1. Them is some evil people. Anybody who try and convince you that they God, anybody who could try and convince you that you, the person that they got to go through to get to God, they evil. I'm just saying, I know we be talking about, like, black and white, black and white. No, that's evil, okay? If you ask me, that's some evil shit. Anybody who doing that, run, don't walk from their ass, okay? So, if God is leading you to something, y'all are partners. You don't have to just agree with spirit. If this resonates with you, right? Maybe something in you has always felt like you could speak to God as a friend, as a partner, but maybe you're just scared to. And I'm going to get into that energy a little bit, because just because you're afraid or feel some type of way is not necessarily a sign to back away. In the same way that just because you feel good or comfortable in something, like I was saying in my part 1, because it's familiar, is not necessarily a sign that it's the proper way to go. You got to really know. So, again, if God is leading you to something, y'all are partners. You don't have to just agree with spirit. You can observe it, take your time, and set boundaries with God. Yes, it is okay to set boundaries with God. I have had some of my quickest manifestations ever through setting boundaries with God. Okay, clear boundaries. Okay, and like I mean like instant money. Like I remember being mad and crying and talking to God like, man, you trifling. You ain't nothing but nothing. You got me out here like da 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 da. And it wasn't that I was mad, right? It was that I was affirmed in my boundaries. It was that I was at 333 on the timer. It was that I was absolutely sure, God, this is what I said I was comfortable with. I'm doing all it. I'm doing the stuff you done asked me to do. Now, my boundary is that you gotta do this stuff. Okay? That's our agreement. That's our contractual agreement, right? Set contracts with God. Like tell God, okay, God, Spirit, I love you. I'll follow through with this. But I need this, and that to happen. Okay? Boundaries isn't just saying something. It's not. It's internal truth. Out of love. A clear line that you spiritually refuse God or spirit or ancestors or anybody or anything to cross. Love. That's the key word. It's something that you feel out of love, not out of fear, not out of trauma. Okay? So I'm not saying, if God tell you do this, then and you feel afraid, like I don't know about that, like it's going to happen, like I don't know if this is I'm scared to take a leap or something like that. I'm not saying shut down God because you're afraid. I'm saying if you have boundaries with God, if you have rules and restrictions and requirements to be able to fulfill what God is asking you to do, then say that. And God is going to respect that. Because at the end of the day, God didn't put us on this planet to like serve people. God didn't say, I'm going to make you and I'm going to only give you abundance if you do X, Y, Z. God made us out of love, and because he loves us like a mother is supposed to love her babies, he's going to take care of us. He's going to provide for us. We all have the right to basic necessities, a beautiful life, because God is our parent, according to my philosophy, okay? So that's just basic. Like, So if God is asking you to complete missions, do tasks, or do whatever, you also have the right. You're in a partnership with God now. So it's like when you get older and your parent saying like, I'm gonna put some more responsibility on you, you say, okay, okay. When you put that responsibility on me, I want this, this, and that. God might say, you know what I'm saying? Y'all having a contractual agreement. God might say, okay, that's fair. You know what I'm saying? Da, da, da. Set your boundaries. Be clear with each other. Let each other know what y'all want. You know what I'm saying? God it's a relationship. It's no different than with anybody else. And so if you're having a hard time with relationships, go back to God. He gonna teach you how to get it right. Okay? And he the best one to do it with, because even when we failing and we ain't treating him right and we operating out of triggers and karma, he gonna be really patient with us. He not gonna be hurt. He gonna understand us. Unlike, human beings, we have feelings, and it's better to do it with God. If you need a heal, it's better to do it with God than to go hurting the whole human being. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm so beautiful, and you're so beautiful, and yeah, I love you. So you could say something like, God, I hear you, but I'm not comfortable with that. If that is the path you want me to walk on, I'm going to need this, this, and that, right? Or express how you can't or won't give everything because it imposes on your boundaries or physical safety. Okay, this part is really important. I know some people talk about radically sacrificing to go with something God said, and they did it under the boundary that God would radically provide what they were looking for. So even myself, I have experienced this, right? I have experienced radical sacrifice. I gave radical sacrifice away, and I got radical blessings from God. Okay, so I said, God, whatever you want me to do, where you want me to go, where you want me to follow, I'm going to do it. I radically sacrificed, and I radically did what God asked me to do, and I also radically got blessings that almost seemingly just flew out the sky. Okay, so that was my boundary, right? God, and not necessarily that was my boundary, but like that's the promise that He made to me. God asked me to do this, and at the same time He promised. It's like when if I come to you with an offer, okay, can you do this for me? And then I'm gonna give you this. Like sometimes we don't have to have no boundaries because He come with the offer already. You feel what I'm saying? And you say, okay, cool by me. I ain't losing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, sound good to me. And a lot of the things that I ended up sacrificing were amazing. But when I was in that position with those amazing things, there were still some things that I wanted. And I ended up sacrificing, and I got what I wanted. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't even know. Like, I wasn't in a state of like, I'm willing to give this up right now. I was like, I wish I had this thing, but I'm good right here. You know what I'm saying? And then I ended up sacrificing it because God gave me that offer, and I got the things that I wanted, even though I was in the state of I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Does that resonate with you? Does that ultimate sacrifice resonate with you? Because it's okay if it doesn't. That's your boundary. We're partners. Compromise. Maybe you sacrifice strategically. Maybe you aren't giving radical sacrifice. Maybe you're like, God, I'm comfortable with this one, that. God gonna be like, okay, cool. I'm gonna give you this, that. And maybe He'll give it to you bit by bit. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to operate in boundaries. You don't have to like be like, I'm gonna just do everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. Like, to just take it little by little. Like, live your life. Be like, use your whole body. Like, whatever you feel comfortable with. Sometimes we're in that mode, right? We're like, I'm finna drop it all. Like, I'm ready to do anything. And sometimes we're in that mode where we're like, it's not a good time for me right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, ask me next month. But let me tell you, this month, I'm going to give you this, this, and that. If you give me this, this, and that. Cool? Cool. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, that's not the same thing as being delusional. Okay, I know this may be like semantics for some people, but to me, delusional and faith is not the same thing. They bear different fruits. They may feel the same, they may look the same along the way, but they bear different fruits. And that's because delusion has an undertone of disbelief. Delusion has an undertone of knowing that something is wonky and crazy. Faith has an undertone of absolute surety, clarity, and truth that is possible. They both, what they have in common is an understanding that the thing that I want to go to is far from me. Okay? And I believe that I can have it. But delusion is like, I believe that I can have it. That's crazy, right? I don't really know. I'm going to just say it. You know what I'm saying? This is it. This is the moment. That's delusional. Faith is like, I'm not there right now. I believe I can go there. God told me I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. It's going to happen. I'm going to do this, this, and that while I'm waiting. Or maybe God said chill. I'm going to just chill while I'm waiting. Either way, I know that I'm going to get there. That is, delusion might be the same thing too. Like, oh, I'm going to get there. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to get there somehow. But it still has this like fear undertone, this disbelief undertone. And an example of delusion in a relationship would be, he loved me, he just done been through some things, like, you know what I'm saying? But then, like, he be cheating and all types of stuff, and you turning a blind eye, like, but still, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's delusional. Delusion is not healthy to me. Faith is healthy, helpful. Delusion is not. But for some people, maybe this is semantics. Maybe you resonate with delusion, feeling just like faith, and being just like faith. No, I believe it. Like, I really believe that. You can call me delusional, but I really believe that. To some people, that's what it is. But to me, I do a clear distinction because the energy that I'm in, while I'm knowing that something is down the line and I have to hold on. Well, I'm knowing that there's a separation physically between me and this thing that is promised to me. The why and the energy and how I'm functioning in it is very important for me. So I make those distinctive differences because that energy that I'm in is important to the manifestation. So, and just to reiterate, walking in faith and trusting God and setting these boundaries is not the same thing as constantly holding on to things that I know don't serve me under the guise of boundaries. If you don't like something, that would be the thing that's breaking your boundaries. So if you know you're in a bad relationship and you're like, okay, God, like, you telling me to leave this relationship, but my boundary right now is that I need to be around somebody who I can feel love around. That's not a boundary. That's another sign of delusion, okay? Faith would be telling you you are going to be in a loving relationship. Delusion is thinking that the loving relationship is going to be with this man who cheating on you 5 days a week, who calling you out your name, hitting you upside the head. That is delusion. Faith is knowing God's promise of you deserve a healthy relationship. Okay, so if you don't like something, that would be the thing that's breaking your boundaries, not God asking you to let go. Okay, so those important distinctions we have to remember whenever we're establishing boundaries. Be conscious, truly, to create boundaries that are not operating out of fear, boundaries that are operating out of love and authenticity, truthfully with yourself. And that's how you'll know when you're setting a real, appropriate, firm boundary that God can respect because it's in alignment with the truth. So it's about being in complete alignment. If you're operating out of trauma or lack, that is not alignment. Trauma or lack may look like operating out of wisdom or protection and appreciation of blessings. So sometimes you don't want to give certain things up, 4444. Sometimes you don't want to give certain things up, like blessings that God gave you. Say, God, I want to protect these. I want to build these. I want to hold on to these. And I want to make sure that I'm not squandering them or putting myself in a position like, maybe like for me and my situation, when I had radical blessings, sometimes there was this waiting period, this like period of transition where yes, it's on the way, but I had to go through so much while I was waiting for it after I sacrificed. Like there was a period of waiting, which wasn't bad, honestly, but it's not, which wasn't totally bad, but it's not something that, like, my boundaries now have shifted. I'm not willing to go through that waiting period of complete and utter confusion, you know what I'm saying, and lack, and there's nothing moving and there's darkness. I'm not willing to go into that again. So now my boundary is that if I'm going to have radical sacrifice, there needs to be a certain level of comfort that I'm still going to be experiencing that align with my natural boundaries, while I'm either in my waiting period, or if there's going to be a transition, a radical transition, it needs to be radical. Like it's not here and then it's, well, it's give this up and then it's here. That's a personal boundary. Because it aligns, and I know that that's a personal boundary, and not trauma, because it aligns with my natural beliefs of being in this world and experiencing a certain level of love and comfort, because I was able to identify within myself. I'm able to do it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not willing to do it. And whatever your boundaries are your boundaries, period. Like, right now I just was kind of like, oh, let me explain that. But, like, I know that that's not out of trauma. I don't have to explain that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that maybe I don't need to explain it, but I do need to get myself comfortable with the fact that that's my boundary. And because maybe that's been something that's been pushed before, and I know that even in those situations I can handle it, it feels like, well, maybe I can just, but no, I don't. Maybe I can just, this is the same energy of like when people are constantly bringing stuff at you and you're like, I don't really want to do it, but I can, so I guess I'll do it. You can just say no. You can just say no. You know, someone's asking for money, they're asking for money every 5 days, and you don't want to be someone's personal ATM. Yeah, you got the money, but I'm not comfortable with that. You know what I'm saying? So no. Yeah, I have it, but no. It's mine. You don't have to explain that. I don't have to explain that. Okay, so that is that part of the video. These are just some things that I wanted to address. I was rewatching part one of the video, and I kind of spoke on that topic when I was like, sorry y'all, I'm kind of like I said, I'm tired. I kind of spoke on that topic of we're teachers and students, so I wanted to reiterate the student factor as well, and kind of just navigating that, I suppose. Like, we are to still work with God, you know what I'm saying? Like, the universe is also a whole thing for a reason, and it has order, it has structure, it has flow. So the next point that I wanted to talk about, when I was like, the gay nigga, and I was like, fat, like he had a fat face, and I was like, he was getting fatter and uglier, and I know some people might misinterpret this, so I want to just come and like clear up the energy completely. And one day I'll talk about my own internalized and external homophobia and how it has impacted me physically and spiritually, but not today. I'll just say there's nothing wrong with being gay. I said that gay ass nigga was jealous of me because he in fact was a gay ass nigga that was jealous of me. I don't have trauma around fat people. Fat and ugly are not synonymous at all. Plenty people are fat and beautiful, just like plenty people are skinny and ugly. I don't think fat is a bad word. It's a descriptive word. It's nothing wrong with being fat, but he, in fact, is getting fatter and uglier. Even if I don't like gay people or fat people, I don't have to go out of my way to be worried about them, protesting against them having basic human rights, or creating direct prejudice against them. But it also doesn't mean that I have to make space to protect or serve them. And some people might not like that, but I don't care what you like. But I don't care what you like. That's why I believe the world should be free. Because if you feel like I'm treating you bad, or if you feel like the things I'm saying, right, if me saying gay ass nigga offended you and you don't ever want me to say that again, I feel like you deserve to go somewhere you feel you are genuinely treated kindly and respected. So if you feel like I'm disrespecting you or your people or your beliefs or something like that when I say gay ass nigga, or even if I had said fat ass nigga, like, click off the video respectfully, because you deserve to be in a place that's respectful to you and your beliefs. Now, I don't feel like it's kind or respectful to force someone to be in negative environments. That goes both ways. If being gay makes you feel negative, and I'm also not allowed to say I don't like gay people, or else I'll get persecuted for it, I think that's wrong. I deserve to be in a community of people that collectively agree being straight is the way, or being gay is the way, or being black is the way, or being white is the way, or it doesn't matter what we are, having a good time is the only way. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you should just be in whatever community you want to be in. And I'm not promoting people go out their way to hate anyone that doesn't fit in their group. I'm promoting people be allowed to be left alone in their groups, and they need to leave other people alone too. Separation or exclusivity isn't the same thing as hate. And if you're obsessed with forcing other people to like or accept you, I don't have... Oh, separation or exclusivity isn't the same thing as hate. So if I tell you, I don't want your people around here, this ain't for y'all, that's not the same thing as spreading hate against someone. That's me creating a bubble, a community that I want to be surrounded in, that is only filled with things that I like. Okay, I think that it's weird that some people think like, you're not allowed to do that, you need to let me come over there. Why? We don't even like you over here. Why would you want to be over here anyways? I think that's weird. I think that people shouldn't be able to tell people they're not allowed to have preferences. And that, oh, you need to like us. No, I don't. I don't think it's... Okay, so let me just continue. So separation or exclusivity isn't the same thing as hate. And if you're obsessed with forcing other people to like or accept you, that is just as weird as being obsessed with constantly forcing other people to know how much you hate them, to me. So I think it's weird to have a whole lot of people, like, to constantly be the type of person, like them people who be online, like, are people who go out of their way to go protest against gay rights. Like, if you don't like gay people, that's cool. But at this point, it's giving you obsessed with gay people. Because why are you constantly at protests like, God hates you, or I don't like you, gay people are this, gay people like that, and trying to stop them from having their rights? Literally. That has nothing to do with you. You're literally upset. Like, you constantly surrounding yourself. A lot of times these people constantly surround themselves around environments with gay people. They know all the gay lingo. They like, you know, it's weird. Like, you claim to not like gay people so bad. It's really giving you obsessed and you want to be one of them. Like, I think that that's weird too. Or you claim you don't like black people so bad, but then you have people who are racist. What's the word? Cosplaying, but not cosplaying, like, pretending to be, but not pretending. You have people who claim they racist pretending to be black online. Like, it's giving obsessed. Like, and then they trying to spread a bad name. It's like, you really want to be black for real. You really wish that you was gay for real. That's why you mad. So I don't have to like or understand people to know it's not inherently my right to persecute them just because I don't like or understand them. If you haven't imposed on someone else's self-sovereignty, no one should impose on yours. Don't start no shit. Won't be no shit. Okay? So just because somebody talking about, oh, I don't like this person, I don't like that, that don't mean they imposing on your self-sovereignty. You need to learn to let people have their own opinions. Okay? Now, I know forcing others to accept you isn't the same thing as protesting for basic rights, especially when you're stuck in an environment by law or poverty. So I'm not saying that I think it's weird that, like, you know, gay people be protesting, like how I say people constantly asking, like, other people to accept them. I don't think that people protesting for their basic rights, like to get married and be with who they want to be with, is the same thing as trying to force somebody to accept you. I understand that a lot of people are bound by laws and restrictions like that. It's not the same thing, okay? That's not the same thing as asking to be accepted. That's just asking for your basic rights that you should have already had. So I know this government isn't set up to create an environment that allows this mindset to thrive. This government has always been a POS. This isn't new. So please, don't tell me nothing about trying to rework my personal ideologies around the government's law. I do not care. Just because this belief may seem impractical to some people, doesn't mean I'm going to stop having it. And just because the conditions that we live in are not the most favorable to operate this way, doesn't mean that I'm not going to operate this way. However, I will take into account some of these things. Like, for example, if I was only operating under, I only support black people, and if I'm supporting black people, so maybe let's say black people is the majority, and I'm like, I only support black people because I only like black people, and black people is the majority, a lot of the money is going to go to black people, and the system of the world is going to be thrown off balance because black people are supporting black people. But then again, you know, you might have your Chinese people. They like, we don't need y'all money no way. We're going to stick together and we're going to do our own thing. As long as, you know what I'm saying, the black people ain't collecting guns and hating on the Chinese people like, y'all don't need to be building stuff over there. We need to have the most money because they want to be stingy or something like that. Because black people want to be stingy or something like that. As long as they ain't doing no weird stuff where they trying to bring other people down, maybe it could work. You feel what I'm saying? But if you don't have the proper resources, like let's say us black folks, we had already had a leg up. We got the best technology, we got the best schools, we got the best books, and the Chinese people don't got nothing. They don't got nothing. They don't got no good books. They don't got no good schools. They just working on that. They gonna have to work a lot harder just to get where we are. And, you know, that's not necessarily fair. So if I was like in this environment, I would say, you know, we don't really like y'all like that. We don't support y'all, but we do believe that everybody should have this right. So what we're going to do is we're going to give y'all some of our books and literature and stuff like that, and let y'all learn. Y'all could borrow them, y'all could have them, y'all could copy them, just because we know we got more resources. That's just being kind, you know what I'm saying? You don't got to like somebody to help give them an equal footing, you know what I'm saying? But everybody don't do that, you know what I'm saying? But also, it wouldn't be my responsibility, you know? You have to have certain people who would be willing to do that, and not everybody's willing to do that. Like, under me, like, I believe in this structure, but I'm also the type of person who would say, I don't like you. I don't, and I wouldn't be afraid to tell you that, but that don't mean I'm going to have you out here struggling, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, some people, I don't like, they might take this structure and be like, yeah, I don't like them, and I ain't going to help them, and I don't think that anybody has to help them, but, then again, that leaves the door open for people to intentionally be malicious and intentionally try and put people in bad spaces. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I ain't gonna do this, but you intentionally want to have power over this person, so you deprive them of proper weapons or proper materials or proper food, stuff like that. So back to the other downloads, which I think I'm actually going to just put inside of a smaller clip video. That way people can really have a chance to focus on this. This video is pretty long already, and I don't think I've been able to touch on a lot of stuff that I wanted to touch on. I wanted to tell the story, my like abuse story, part 2, or how I left my karmic relationship. It was an abusive relationship. part 2 of it, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to get to that today. I do want to get to some of these downloads real quick. I'm gonna put it in here, but then I'm also probably gonna make a shorter video, so be on the lookout for that. Maybe I'll have more information or not. Try and keep it under 15 minutes, act real casual, cute, demure, but y'all know me, I like to talk. So I didn't really get super downloads from that Miley Cyrus song. It just brought me to the first download, which is oh my gosh, I think there was a butterfly out there. Oh. You, Miley Cyrus, which was it was very love and energy. Oh, thank you. That was one of the things that I did get from that song. So when she says, but only if it's with you, she talks about all this cute stuff that she wants to do. And she says, yeah, I know I'm not perfect, but you're looking past it. Ooh, that's another one that I just got. So I know I'm not perfect, but you're looking past it. You may put this person on a pedestal. Ooh. Ooh, okay. This is all kind of coming together like right in front of my eyes. Okay, you may put this person on a pedestal, and I got this download from another part of the song. No, I got this download like out the air. No, or did I? I don't remember. Okay, but in that song, in that Miley Cyrus song, she says, you know I'm savage, you're looking past it, I want that late night sweet magic. And she's also saying, I don't need Jesus, oh baby you saved me, I'm done. So she's also like, she's giving up on God in that song. Like, I don't really think like that song was too bad. Like, I think it is a cute song. It was, I don't need Jesus, oh baby you saved me, I'm done, but only if it's with you. Yeah, sorry, that's my jam. I love that song. But I don't think it's entirely bad or blasphemous, but in this case it is like not necessarily blasphemous but kind of bad. Like because I believe that you're putting your intuition, like, you know, something. Like when she says I don't need Jesus, more like intuition. I believe you're putting your intuition, like you kind of know some things that you shouldn't really be dealing with when it comes to this person. Like this person kind of like not it, but you like, I'm just forget about it. Like I'm not gonna focus on it. Like baby you saved me. You might have been in a period of isolation, and this person is the first person that kind of is pulling you out of that. You feel very like, oh my gosh, like you've been missing this. Like so blame shifting. So you could have gotten into an argument with this person and they tried to say you're crazy, you felt bad about your reaction, so you apologize. Yet they never apologized about the original disrespect that made you act crazy. Which is, you need to realize, a lot of people use reactionary abuse as a way to control you. Like, look at how you acting. Like, all you did was, and sometimes we get so mad, like, that we pull out before we get to see actual proof. Like, we just kind of think something happened when we get a little bit of proof, and we pull out and we say, I knew it, man, you was tripping, and da-da-da, and I don't like you, and da-da-da. And then, because of that moment of anger and separation from the situation at the moment, we create distance between, this is what I'm talking about again with that karma. Like, I don't wish distance on my enemies, because the further you are from something, the less time you have to think about something. And so this person might have had something in their phone. They had something in their phone. You seen it. They was texting somebody, but you ain't read it all the way through. You just saw one text message or something like that. Maybe your text message popped up, and you was like, what the fuck is this? And you got mad. You threw the phone. Maybe you started like hitting him upside his head and throwing stuff and telling him, get the fuck out of my house, and I don't want to see you no more, and da-da-da. And he was like, man, you tripping. So he ended up leaving. And then the one text message that you seen, it didn't have all the evidence you think you needed. And had you just looked at that text message, stayed calm, went through everything, you would have known. But because you got mad, you feel what I'm saying? There ain't nothing wrong with getting mad, because you rightfully got mad. You knew that he was cheating. Now you kind of got a little bit of proof and all clicked together. But you could have gotten some more had you calmed down. That's all I'm saying. You know, being calm in the moment is not for other people. It's for us so that we get the clarity that we need. If we pull out too quickly, sometimes like we mess ourselves up. But so you told him get out the house, whatever. He like, you tripping? I don't want to be here no more anyways. He leave, then he delete the thing. He hide it in his phone or whatever. He know you gonna come back. He know you gonna come back. He know you gonna say I'm sorry. Da da da. He deleted. He hide it in his phone. He done get crafty. He gonna get crafty with it now. He done upped his ante because you kind of figured something out. And he like, I deleted the message. I ain't worried about that girl no way. I ain't even really text her. She constantly bugging me, blowing up my phone. I ain't worried about her no way. And you like, dang, I was tripping. He ain't worried about her. No, he is. He is. You tripping. you tripping now, but you wasn't tripping then. You tripping now, but you wasn't tripping then. She was just looking so cute back there. But so they see you as desperate and easy to manipulate because you apologize. They don't see it as accountability. The truth is both. The truth is you really want to believe that this person is a good person and they not doing you bad, playing out on you when you ain't around because you desperately desire love. And the truth is, like in the Ira Star song, all the love that you're not getting, you do deserve it. But you got to stop accepting bogusness so that you can make room for the goodness. This go back to what I was saying when I was saying, you know, sometimes we have boundaries, but they're not really boundaries, right? They're just us operating out of lack, okay? Until I get this person, then I'm going to just hold on to this. No, because your boundary is that you want to experience love. Your goal is that you want to experience love. How can you experience love when you keep accepting and allowing bogusness to take up space in your life? It's not it, baby girl. It's not it, baby boy. You got to let that roach go. I was finna say fly, but they ain't even a fly. They a roach. You got to let that roach go. Okay? Because you don't have to be desperate. God didn't make you desperate. You have access to abundance. Abundance. You operating out of desperation, and that is the only reason why you're not manifesting abundance, because you haven't set a clear boundary and let God know, God, I only want love. I'm only settling for love. You can't say, God, I only want love, and then you still accepting bogusness. People who operate out of boundaries where they can hold on to things is because they experiencing something good. Okay? And even like in my story, sometimes you're experiencing something good, but God said, I got something better for you. Something that you said, I'm good right here for real. Like, I'm really getting a lot of stuff I want. Yeah, I wish I had this, but I'm really happy with this. So I would be comfortable if I never had that. And God say, yeah, you say that. Let me give you that. Because, like, let me not get into that because I'll be talking forever. But, you know, God said, you say you comfortable with this. Let me try and give you this. You say, okay. Well, shoot. Let me get it. And then sometimes he make a way where you don't have to sacrifice nothing. He just give you something new so you can have both. You feel what I'm saying? Set your boundaries. Be clear about them. That's the whole point. And don't accept nothing that doesn't align with it. Because if you ain't even clear on your boundaries, how God's supposed to be clear with your boundaries? Like, okay, so you say you want love, but you also say you're willing to accept this and that. So I'm going to send you a man who treats you good, but he going to do this, and that. Okay? How that sound to you? He can't cheat. But you let him cheat on you. You say you want a man who provide for you and buy you gifts and be loyal. Well, he loyal as far as you know. Every time he lie to you, you pretend you don't see it. So you said you would accept that, so I don't understand. Do you want this or not? So sometimes, you know, God asking you, like, God going by what you want. You feel what I'm saying? You could say, God, I only want this all day, but if you accepting it, that's what you're telling God. And he gonna give you it in sessions. You setting clear boundaries through your actions for real. He gonna give it to you in sessions, okay? All right, since you want to stay in a relationship, you don't want to be single, that's your boundary. I'm going to give you bad relationship after bad relationship after bad relationship. But don't worry, you're not going to be single, and it's going to get a little bit better each time. Okay, you're going to learn something a little bit different each time. How that sound? No? Okay. Y'all constantly negotiating. You constantly at the table with God negotiating. You better get clear with your boundaries, tell him what you want, and don't accept nothing else. These scrubs ain't for you, baby. You need to get you a real one. Like you, like me, like G-O-D. Okay? So, now let's get into Burning Blue. And honestly, I could take this song bar for bar. Like I said at the beginning, disclaimer, Mariah the Scientist said that Burning Blue is not a heartbreak song, and it's not this and it's not that. But she also said it mean whatever you want it to mean. So this is what I got that it mean when I watched it. Excuse me, I mean when I listened to it and watched the lyrics. Now let me tell you a little story time about this song. When I first heard this song, I was like, that sounds toxic for real. What's she singing about? And I was like, I don't really like that. And then I heard it again, and I was like, oh, wait, it's a love song. Oh, that's cute, okay. And I was like, da, 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 da. And okay, and I was like, okay, I kind of like this. Like, yeah, it's Mariah. I like that song. Okay, but then I heard it again today, and I actually read the lyrics, and I was like, whoa. Maybe it's only like this now, right, because it's a download. But, like I said, disclaimer, like, I'm not saying these songs is like this and they bad or nothing like that. I'm just saying, this how the download came in for this. So I'm finna go ahead and look up the Burning Blue lyrics. Let me just get something that I got right off the top. As long as you're right here laying in my bed, I'll forget what everyone said. This person could be using you know what I'm saying? They could be using a thing or they little spot to be able to get you all jacked up in the head. Like you may have been like celibate for a very long time, and now that you're with this person, you just feel like, oh my gosh, like, oof, I ain't had it like this. But they using it on you, and they trifling for that. You gotta be stronger, brother. You gotta be stronger than that, okay? I scared you. Or you was expecting me to do something crazy. So some downloads that I got this is ignoring the signs because it feels good. Codependent. Talk a good game, but the actions don't match. And Burning Blue, throat chakra. Okay, and if you've ever seen Mariah the Scientist perform this song, or when she's promoting this song, or I guess when she's on tour right now and doing her PR, she always got this like soldier vibe. She looks so cute, by the way. But what do you think of when you think of a soldier? Somebody who does what? Take orders, okay? Submitting to the past trauma cycle, like we've been talking about. Taking them orders of the old trauma cycle, constantly committing to something just because it's the prior, right? So we're gonna go layer for layer. So some